go here. Been going here my whole life.
Long requested.
And I'm a naturopath, which means I study health, and I help people. I study what brings people to a better state. I might touch on illnesses to a certain extent, but I focus on what brings people up, not what breaks them down. And all the remedies and methods I use are completely natural and made by nature. And through that, I'm also kind of a mystic and kind of someone who thinks about things across different faiths and things that unite faiths and things that unite people in every way. So I have been thinking about Teshuvah a lot this year, and every year that it's come around, I've been thinking about it a little earlier and earlier. And the practice of Teshuvah is supposed to start at the beginning of the month of Elul, about a month ago, and go for the next 10 days. But now is we get a little reprieve from Rosh Hashanah to celebrate the Sweet New Year, and then we step back into this space where we want to think about atonement and at-one-ment and looking at our past and looking at what we can do differently. And so we're stepping right back into that right now over these next 10 days. And so I want to start by looking at how far we've come, thinking about how far we've come. All of us, from children, from every day in our lives, we have gotten better. We've accomplished so many things. We've pushed through so many boundaries. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it. Sometimes it doesn't feel like you have, piles and piles of accomplishments, but you do. We all have grown. We've all become who we are through many, many different things. We've all changed bad habits. We've all changed our minds. We've all overcome a lot. So recall some of these powerful times that you've had in your life. Powerful things that changed you quickly. Powerful things that when you got on the other side, you just were automatically different. And maybe you weren't sure exactly how or exactly what you would do differently, but you were different. And what happens is that these powerful things, they break down walls, mostly of fear, because we know that that there's nothing to be afraid of there. We've tried this, we've gone through this, we know that we don't have anything to be afraid of. And we have a certain sense of empowerment because we know what this thing is. We know what we've gone through. We realize that behind each of these things that we feared before, we thought was uncomfortable, that it's not that hard, that it's not that big of a deal, that we can change, and sometimes it takes a moment, and sometimes it takes a lifetime. So I invite you all to stand up right now and think about taking a stance that makes you tall and gets you, but also grounded, and makes you feel powerful or empowered. So for me, it's 1 foot out. It's maybe one arm up like this, and I'm moving into that change. I'm moving through something, and this is, if I'm gathering up my power of what I want to do in life and where I want to go and the things that I want to push through and where I want to be, what am I feeling in my body, how I get there? What's the stance of how you get? What do you have to show these walls or these people or these circumstances to get where you want to be? And take a couple breaths in that state. Build it up on the in-breath and just relax into it on the out-breath. Now just think in your mind about taking a few steps into this state. And each step is a step past where you were, past that reality that you did have, and a new reality is present in every step. So it's good to make an intention right here of how much power you want to have, how much power you want to gather in your body, in your spirit, to carry on, because every moment is our lives right now, is the rest of our lives. We only have right now. So take a moment to gather up your empowerment, your energy, what you need to push through, especially this season. And then let's sit that down. So feeling that sense that we're empowered, that we can do so much as individuals and in each moment. One of my favorite quotes is, "Every moment something sacred is at stake, or something holy is at stake." And to me that means that there's so much potential in each moment for something greater than just what we see in front of us, and something greater than just what is in front of us. And that's all the things that come from God, all the things that are greater than us. So I want to take that power, hold that, hang on to that, while taking this opportunity to delve into ourselves and find out and realize what's not serving us in our lives. When are we returned negativity? And what can we do with that negativity? When we feel pain, mentally, emotionally, or physical, Judaism teaches that every circumstance and every person you encounter has been perfectly calculated for you to change. Every hardship is meant to squeeze you. And what comes out when life squeezes you? Whatever's inside. Is it fear and frustration? Is it joy and acceptance? What comes out when life squeezes you, when you're in fear, when you're in pain, when you're in frustration, when you're in anger? What comes out reveals to you who you are and gives you the clarity to change. So everything that we go through that does not seem to be serving us and where we need to be is a lesson. Is saying, okay, is this what we should be looking at? Or should we change directions? And that really is Teshuvah, is about changing directions.
What do you mean by where we need to be?
Well,